Okay, so get this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of, wait for it, germanium.
Germanium.
You sent over some seriously cool stuff on this element, and I have to admit, when I first saw germanium, I thought, okay, maybe a type of flower. But no, this is way more interesting than I ever imagined.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, so where do we even begin?
Well, it really is a fascinating story. See, germanium was actually predicted to exist years before it was ever discovered.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We can thank Dmitri Mendeleev and his incredible periodic table for that.
Right. Mendeleev. It wasn't just an organized list of elements, though, right? It was like he laid out a giant elemental puzzle.
Exactly.
And he could tell there were pieces missing.
Precisely. He arranged the elements by their atomic weight and properties, noticing these patterns, but then boom, a gap. A spot where an element should be, based on everything else, but no one had found it yet.
And that's where germanium comes in.
You got it. He even gave it a placeholder named ekasilicon, predicting its weight, density, even that it would be gray.
No way.
It's true.
That's amazing.
It's almost eerie how spot on he was.
So it's like a scientific prophecy. He's looking into the future of the periodic table.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of observation and deduction. Mendeleev essentially provided a roadmap for discovering new elements. And about 2 decades later, a chemist named Clemens Winkler stumbles upon this new mineral, argyrodite, in a German mine.
Okay, wait, so they literally dug it out of the ground.
Yeah.
That's way cooler than I expected. What happened next?
So Winkler starts analyzing this argyrodite and finds silver, sulfur, and this unknown element. As he investigates its properties, it dawns on him this perfectly matches Mendeleev's predictions for ekasilicon.
Get out.
He had found germanium.
No way. Talk about a scientific mic drop. That must have been huge for Mendeleev and the whole periodic table concept.
Absolutely. It proved that the periodic table wasn't just a static chart, but a powerful tool for discovery. Winkler's findings solidified Mendeleev's genius and set the stage for a deeper understanding of the elements.
Okay, I have to ask, I read that Winkler almost called it Neptunium, which, side note, is a way cooler name.
It is a cool name.
What happened there?
It's a funny story, actually. You see, the planet Neptune had also been predicted mathematically before anyone actually observed it. Winkler loved the parallel, but sadly, Neptunium had already been mistakenly assigned to a different supposed new element.
Oh no. So close, yet so far.
Exactly. In the end, he went with germanium to honor his homeland.
A fitting tribute. So we've got this brand new element, germanium, confirming Mendeleev's brilliance and rocking the scientific world. Yeah. What did they do with it? Did it become an instant superstar?
Well, not quite an instant superstar.
Wow.
You know how sometimes a band releases a truly great song, but it takes a while for everyone else to catch on?
Yeah.
That was germanium for a few decades, a hidden track waiting for its time to shine.
Okay.
Initially, it was kind of written off.
Right.
Just a poorly conducting metal, they thought. Not much use for it, you know?
Huh. So what changed? Did someone accidentally spill germanium in their coffee and invent a new energy drink? What kicked off the Germanium fan club?
Huh. I wish it were that simple.
Yeah.
It actually took World War II to bring germanium into the spotlight, at least a little.
Okay.
Scientists started using it for diodes in radar technology.
Okay, pause right there.
Uh-huh.
Now I feel like I'm back in high school physics, struggling to stay awake. What does that even mean? What's so special about a diode?
Yeah, fair enough. Imagine a one-way street for electricity.
Okay.
That's basically what a diode is.
Okay.
It only lets electrical current flow in one direction,
Right.
which is super important for controlling how electronic signals travel.
I see.
And for radar, which was crucial during the war for detecting enemy planes and ships, you needed reliable diodes. Germanium, it turned out, could handle the job.
So germanium helped win the war. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
But it still sounds like a pretty small role.
Yeah.
When did things really take off?
The transistor. This is where germanium really had its moment in the sun.
Wow.
In 1948, scientists figured out how to build transistors using, you guessed it, germanium.
Transistors. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Those are like the tiny brains in all our electronics, right?
You got it.
Okay.
They're like tiny electronic switches that can amplify signals, making them stronger.
Right.
They're the building blocks of modern electronics, your phone, your laptop, all powered by transistors.
Wow.
And for about 2 decades, germanium was the material for making them.
But then silicon came along. I mean, that's what we mostly hear about now, right? Silicon Valley and all that.
Right.
Did silicon just blow germanium out of the water?
It's true, silicon did eventually take over. Remember how we talked about Mendeleev arranging the elements based on their properties?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out silicon sits right below germanium on the periodic table, and they share a lot of similarities.
So silicon is like germanium's younger, cooler sibling who shows up and steals the spotlight.
Huh. Kind of. Silicon is a great semiconductor, even better than germanium in some ways. Plus, it's incredibly abundant because it comes from sand. Germanium, sadly, is much rarer and trickier to extract. And when you're talking about mass production of electronics, well, you can see why silicon won out in the end.
So was that for germanium? Did it slink back into obscurity after silicon came along?
Not at all. Germanium may not be the star of microchips, but it found its own path, proving it's more than a one-hit wonder. In fact, it's likely playing a vital role in your life right now, even as we speak.
Now you have to tell me more. What's germanium up to these days?
Well, for starters, it's become a major player in the world of fiber optics. You know those super fast internet cables that carry data as pulses of light? Yeah, germanium is essential for those.
Hold on, really? How does that work? What does germanium have to do with light?
It all comes down to a special compound called germanium dioxide, basically. Germanium with a couple of oxygen atoms attached. Turns out this stuff is amazing at bending and focusing light.
So like a tiny lens inside those cables.
Exactly. Germanium dioxide has what's called a high refractive index, so imagine shining a light through a prism, the light bends, right?
Right.
It's similar with germanium dioxide. By adding it to the core of fiber optic cables, you can guide light signals over incredibly long distances with minimal loss.
Wow, so without germanium, no super fast internet. That's wild. What else? There's got to be more.
You're right, there's plenty more. Germanium is also a key player in infrared technology. You know those heat-sensing cameras firefighters use or night vision goggles you see in movies?
Oh, right. It picks up on the invisible heat waves instead of just visible light, right?
Exactly. Germanium is transparent to those infrared wavelengths, so it's used for all sorts of things. Military applications, medical imaging, even astronomy. There are telescopes equipped with germanium lenses that can see objects in space that would be otherwise invisible.
Germanium, from forgotten element to silent hero of the information age and space exploration. This is blowing my mind. Are there any other cool uses?
Definitely. Remember how we talked about silicon being abundant because it's found in sand?
Yeah.
Well, germanium, unfortunately, likes to hang out with rarer metals, and one of those is zinc. When they extract zinc, they often find germanium along for the ride.
So it's like a byproduct. They're not even trying to find germanium, and boom, there it is.
Kind of. Although as demand for germanium rises, they're definitely paying more attention to those zinc mines. But that brings us to another important point, the geopolitics of germanium. Because it is rarer and its sources are concentrated in specific areas, it's considered a technology-critical element.
Meaning it's not just about finding germanium, but also who controls it.
Exactly. And right now, a large portion of the world's germanium supply comes from China. So naturally, this raises some concerns, especially as we rely more and more on technologies that depend on it.
Right, like if something disrupts that supply chain, that could have huge ripple effects.
Absolutely. And in fact, in 2023, China imposed export restrictions on germanium, citing national security interests.
Wow, so it's not just some obscure element anymore, it's a strategic resource.
It really is. This move by China sent shockwaves through a lot of industries and highlighted just how crucial germanium has become. It's a stark reminder that something as seemingly small as a chemical element can have massive global implications.
It's incredible when you think about it. Germanium's journey is like a microcosm of how interconnected everything is. Science, technology, geopolitics, even our daily lives. From predicted placeholder to fiber optic facilitator, infrared interpreter, and now a strategic resource. What a wild ride. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating element.